Hey guys, it's Keith. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I want to tell you a little story about dating. This is about my grandma and grandpa, and I think this is just the I started to say weird story. It's not weird, but just it's a wild story for what I would think for the 1930s. Okay, because maybe I just have a different perspective on things, but. And it's that way today, even as far as dating. Most of the time, dating, especially I felt like back then, you met somebody that, your next door neighbor, somebody lived close to you, somebody you went to school with, maybe somebody you worked with later, some friends, somebody you went to church with, something like that. And it's very much like that, today as well. But of course, today we have dating apps and all these other forms of dating, meeting people, social media, and that kind of thing, but that we didn't have back then, So I just assumed, everybody just kind of met because, oh, she's cute, and you go over and, strike up a conversation, or somebody introduces you, or somebody sets you up with them, something like that. And but anyway, my grandma was telling me and my wife this story. So I didn't know this story until I was married. So this is back in probably 99, 2000, something like that. My grandma passed away in 2005, I believe. So somewhere, just right after me and my wife had got married. And all these years, I know my grandma, I didn't know this story. So I don't know all of it. I wish I knew every bit of it. I just don't remember all of it. Or maybe she didn't tell me and I didn't think to ask. But she's from Missouri. And she would have been a teenager at this time. Now, not extremely young. I don't know for sure what age, but I think my dad was born when she was about 26, and my aunt was older. She would have been around, my grandma would have been around 20. I don't know how long my grandma and grandpa were married before they started having kids, so some of that I don't know for sure. But I don't think it was very long. And again, I don't know how this got started, but my grandpa, remember this, grandma's from Missouri, okay? Grandpa is from South Dakota, okay? And I don't know if grandpa had a car. I don't think he did, honestly. But somehow, and I feel like it was somebody in her, my grandma's either family or a friend turned her onto this pen pal service. So, yeah. And so she started, I don't know who started the correspondence. Again, I wish I knew a little bit more about how that got going. My dad might know, I don't know. I need to ask him maybe and find out. But anyway, they started a conversation, through the mail and corresponding with each other. So my grandma and my grandpa back and forth between South Dakota and Missouri, all right, a long ways away. And again, there's another part of the story I don't know, but eventually he came to Missouri. And as far as I know, he never went back. And I don't think he ever saw his parents again. His sisters, I don't know if he saw them again. I know they did come down later on. I know my grandma, we met them at some point. But my grandpa, he died at an early age. He was only 49. Had a enlarged heart and was discharged from the Army and that sort of thing. Just had a kind of a rough way to go, and I guess had a heart attack, and one of the things that could have probably saved him today, but back then they just didn't have what it took to to help him out. But anyway, they corresponded back and forth, and he moved. As I say, I don't know if he moved down there and they dated for a while. He moved and they just got married. I don't know for sure what happened, but she was telling me the story, and she just with a smile, she loved him. I mean, and she outlived. I mean, she was 91 and he was 49, and he was older than her. I'm not sure by how much, but a few years he was older than her, and so she outlived him a long time. Never got remarried. Maybe dated a little bit, but she just, when she talked about grandpa, boy, she'd get teary-eyed and she just thought the world of him. And anyway, she was telling us that she sent this picture. I don't know, see if you can see that picture. Try to get that to where, yeah. And she's raking or cleaning up the yard or something, And she said, and this is the picture she sent him. And I'm not sure I didn't already have this picture in my possession in a frame. We have it on it. We have a little tea cart, and we have it up there, and it's been there for many, many years. And she said, you know, I sent him this picture of me. And she said, I guess, you know, he thought, well, I'm getting a worker, you know. She just laughed, you know, because she was working in the picture. So he thought he was getting a prize, but he got a prize. She was an awesome lady, beautiful lady, and just a lot of fun. And she would, she could complain a little bit, but boy, she could laugh. Oh my gosh, she could just laugh too. You would laugh with her no matter what was going on. And so just, but I just thought that was an awesome story for the 1930s, for, you know, people to meet from Missouri to South Dakota. And again, I don't know how he got there. I don't know that he had a car, you know, maybe the train. I don't know for sure. I'm not 100% sure on the traveling arrangements there, but just that they just wrote letters and sent a picture and go, here I am. And I wish I had some of those letters, man. I'd love to, you know, maybe, I don't know, some of them might have been a little juicy, I don't know, but still be kind of cool to read those and everything. My dad may have some, I don't know if he does or not, but that would be kind of cool. But anyway, I wanted to share that story with you. You know, if people back then could get together that far away, you know, then us folks today, no matter what age we are, you know, and no matter how far somebody is away, you know, you can make it work if you really want to, you know. So, and like I said, we got a lot more ways of communication nowadays. So, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I just assumed that, you know, you marry the next door neighbor, the girl next door, or the girl you went to school with, or girl you went to church with, or something. But that was not the case with my grandma and grandpa. So awesome story. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you got some stories, you can share those in the comments with me. And I appreciate y'all tuning in as always. If you could give us a thumbs up on this, subscribe to us if you like what we're doing, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.